Hey Katie, Coach Brew here. I just wanted to shoot you this video and say congratulations on your acceptance at Westminster College in Pennsylvania and your commitment to play basketball there in the fall. I don't know if you knew this about me, but I'm originally from Pennsylvania, and I think you're going to love it there for a variety of reasons. One of the biggest reasons is just being a student athlete is an awesome accomplishment. You're going to thrive in that environment. And I think you're going to love the whole new Wilmington, Lawrence County area because, frankly, it reminds me a lot of Cumberland and Cumberland County, this part of Maine, where we've been living. And I just wanted to share with you a couple of thoughts as you get ready to head off to the next level and to college in the fall. Basically, you're in a great position compared to my generation and others because you have the benefit of technology and the internet. You have a greater sense of what you can anticipate the student athlete experience will be at the college level. You can look on YouTube, you can follow your different programs on social media, see what they're doing. We were flying blind when I was a college student and had to figure it out, as I went. And some of the things are the same and some of the things are different. You're better prepared because you're armed with more information, but the fundamentals haven't changed. And one of the biggest fundamentals I think you're going to see as a college athlete is that you're going to find out very quickly you're fighting a war of attrition. And there's an old saying, when you get to the next level in college, you don't get faster or bigger, everyone else does. So there's been this war of attrition that you fought in high school, and it's just kind of escalated now. It's going to be a daily, weekly, every month, every semester, every season thing. And success leaves clues, so does failure. We weren't armed with this information. We had to figure it out. So literally on the first day I was on campus as a college student, I just watched what the most successful student athletes were doing at my school, Fairleigh Dickinson University. And, whatever they did, football players, soccer players, basketball, tennis, field hockey, who were the most successful people? And was there a consistent pattern? And there really was a very consistent pattern that consisted of three big things that I want you to take with you when you go off to college. The first one, at least it was for me, was get to the training room. I was pretty injury prone, so that became priority for me. But I always saw the most successful athletes were proactive in the training room. They're getting prehab, rehab, ice, stim, whatever it might be. Little aches and pains become big, season-ending injuries, or you end up missing games if you don't take care of those little things every day. So my goal for you is to become so friendly with your trainer, you actually end up giving them a graduation gift when you graduate college, which is the case with me. Our trainer, Tom Wilkinson, was probably more responsible for whatever success I had as a student athlete than anyone else, more so than my coaches, because your trainer is the person that's going to see you every day before practice, during practice, after practice, in the off season, strength and conditioning, rehab, injury prevention, taping, treatment, all that. They're going to be a source of nutritional advice. Also, they're kind of going to play counselor for you. They're going to recognize when you're having a bad day, and they can help you out in a lot of ways. So they just have, they have more contact with you, build a great relationship with them, be very proactive about taking care of yourself before you get on the field or the court and after practice as well, because that's what keeps you in the lineup week in, game out, for the whole season. And I know the last thing you want to do is miss games. The second piece that I have for you is what I saw the most successful athletes doing. I started to model for myself was eat breakfast. Why? You might be listening to this saying, I'm not a breakfast person. I like to sleep in. I don't know. But I think it's important not just for the meal, even though that fuels your body to start the day, but because it's a daily discipline. And if you commit to going to breakfast, it means you're committing to a bunch of other things. namely getting up early. And if you're going to get up earlier, what do you have to do the night before? You need to go to bed earlier, which also means you won't be out partying. You won't be out late or just up late hanging out with your friends in the dorms. You made a decision to go to breakfast, which leads to other decisions that you get to make leading up to that. So you're not going to be out partying late. You're not going to be hungover. And breakfast doesn't just fuel your body, it fuels your mind. And when I say breakfast, I don't mean grabbing a cup of coffee and a bagel, at the convenience store or Starbucks or wherever on your way to class. I mean sitting down in the cafeteria and having a real meal. And when you do that, again, we didn't have this problem. We didn't have smartphones. We didn't even have dumb phones. But leave your phone in your purse or your backpack and connect with your teammates and your classmates and friends. Be a leader and bring, maybe even drag some of your teammates along, some of the other members of your recruiting class, and get them to come to breakfast with you. When I was a coach, we had breakfast club. I didn't make it a have to, I made it a want to. Getting the guys to just bring each other to breakfast, start the day off right, and connect socially, interpersonally. And it's also a time where you get an opportunity to study, before an exam, whatever it might be. But it's a window of time that gives you a competitive advantage that, frankly, other less successful student athletes won't be doing. That's a competitive edge for you. That's the second one. The third one is simply go to the library. Whether it's a required study hall by your coaches or the athletic department or not, do your studying in the library. Why? Because your room is not for studying. Your room, your dorm, anywhere in the dorm is not conducive to studying. It's a big distraction. People knocking on the door, the phone ringing, you have your computer, the TV, all these things. Your dorm room is really for sleeping. The library is for studying. It's a distraction-free environment. And here's a little pro tip, not necessarily related to the student-athlete experience, but the kind of people you want to meet and spend time with, you will find in libraries. When you graduate college, and you're out in the real world, the kind of people you will want to meet and spend time with, you will find in bookstores and libraries. It's just quality people who are intellectually curious, who are leaders, and again, have that daily discipline. So plus, you can't play if you don't stay eligible. So there's that. And here's the dirty little secret for you. Coaches, no matter what they say, I don't care what they say publicly, coaches favor the players on the team who boost the team GPA. So, all other things being equal, talent, everything else, they favor the players who are smart. Here's an example from the world of the NFL. The average number of people on an NFL roster who have a college degree is less than 20%. The average number of people on the New England Patriots roster who have a college degree is 85%. Why? Because and they're very successful, wouldn't you agree? Because Bill Belichick realizes that he's dealing with people who finish what they started and people who have that daily discipline and are intellectually curious, they're smart. That's his brand of football as well, so he knows what the right fit is. But I think there's a strong correlation between smarts and athletic success as well. Having a basketball IQ and having an IQ probably aren't all that different, right? But I want to wrap this up with a little story for you from my athletic experience. I wasn't a great college athlete, but I was committed. And hard work and that daily discipline pays off. In 1988, yeah, I know I'm old. In 1988, I arrived to college with 20 other recruits. That fall semester, the coach that recruited us left for another job, so we had no coach in the fall. But here's what happened. That fall semester, out of a recruiting class of 20, 4 of them failed out, 5 transferred out, 3 quit, 2 got kicked off the team. That left 6 of us. So that's that war of attrition I told you about at the beginning. Every day, every week, every month, every season, you're fighting that war. And those people, were not successful in that daily discipline. They didn't have what it took. You're going to see that on a smaller extent because you're dealing with a smaller roster, a smaller recruiting class, but I guarantee it's going to happen. You're going to see that happen in other sports at Westminster. And here's the benefit of making those decisions: to get in the training room, to eat breakfast, to study in the library, to have those daily disciplines. And I don't share this to impress you, because I didn't have an impressive athletic career. I had a college athletic career, but I share this to impress upon you the importance of those disciplines. When our coach did get hired and show up spring semester on campus, every year the lacrosse program took a spring trip to Florida for preseason training, Clearwater, Florida. And my freshman year, the upperclassmen made a choice one night. They were going to go bar hopping. It was our next to last night in town. And they drove the rental vans drunk from bar to bar. They got pulled over by the cops on their way home, like blocks from the hotel on their way home. Why? Because they were hanging out the windows, trying to talk to some girls in a convertible, the next lane over at a stoplight. And one of the team captains made the brilliant decision, sarcasm, that when they pulled over, everyone should jump out of the vans and just take off and run into the woods and escape the police. Not a good decision, because the Pasco County Sheriff's Department didn't just chase them. They called in bloodhounds to go through this marsh, near St. Petersburg, Clearwater, and helicopters, and track all these guys down. So they all got arrested. They were, long story short, suspended for a month. And I was the person that was chosen to go wake up our coach, tell him what happened, and have him go post bail for them. Why wasn't I in that van? Why wasn't I running from the police and getting arrested? It's pretty simple. I made a decision earlier that day. I committed to schedule an appointment with our athletic trainer to get treatment before practice the next morning, to get ice and get my ankles taped. We're actually going to have breakfast in the hotel together, and there's like a conference room there. We'd eat, and then he'd treat the athletes and tape us up before we went over to the practice field. So that simple little decision and commitment that I made to somebody else, schedule that appointment first thing in the morning, was the reason I wasn't out late, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't following bad examples, and it was simple. What happened with that? Well, that was my coach's first impression of me. I was the person that broke the news to him. I showed leadership doing that. I showed leadership not being in that bunch. And, with all those guys suspended, I ended up starting as a freshman for the first month of the season. And that earned his trust. It also earned me a greater role, because every day and the decisions you make each day are an audition for your role and a bigger role or a better role the following day, week, month, whatever the case may be. So it's something that simple. Made a decision to go to bed early, get to breakfast, see the trainer, and that paid off. So much of success are the simple daily little decisions you make. So I want to encourage you to get into that routine now, where you're going to bed early, you're getting up early, having breakfast. Those daily disciplines. Study, become a student of the game, learn as much about your coaches and their backgrounds, their likes and dislikes before you arrive on campus. It's a competitive edge that you'll have. Learn as much as you can about the program, the history of the program, and the athletic department as you can. That'll become a competitive advantage. You don't have to be a senior to be a leader. You just have to be a leader. And lead by example in word and deed. I've enjoyed watching you be a leader on your teams in high school, and I'm confident you're going to keep doing the same thing in college. So I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience, and hopefully you can carry some of that with you as you start off this new experience, this new role. And I can't wait to follow all your successes, as I've enjoyed following your success in high school. And if I can be a resource to you, just let me know. Happy to. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you on the court up there in New Wilmington at Westminster. Enjoy your summer, Katie, and best of luck.